And welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or even looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed just for you. Think of like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, but with my attorney advice throughout the way. Any questions that you may have, we have people standing by to answer them right now. The phone number is on the screen. It's 407-205-0400. If you want to start your house hunt, you want to stop renting, you can do it right now. You can do it this weekend. Dallas Lehman with You Have Mortgage can get you pre-qualified now at that same phone number, 407-205-0400. Great show in store for you today. You won't want to miss one single minute. But first, it's time for the opening statement. The opening statement today is brought to you by our good friends at IQ Power Solar, the same guys who took my electricity bill from $500 a month to, even in the heat of the summer, I'm at $50 a month right now. Stephen Bader tells us how he did it, and also a special offer just for you from our friends at IQ Power Solar. They're offering to pay your electricity bill this month, the solar payment the rest of the year, meaning you're essentially going to pay nothing for electricity for the rest of this year during these very difficult times. Stephen, how did you do it at my house? All right, so when do you know it's time to stop renting and start owning? I understand purchasing a house, especially the first house, can be a very scary decision for a family. You're not used to that sort of a commitment. I mean, oftentimes it's the biggest purchase of your life. But look, rest easy, because number one, with these interest rates where they are, I guarantee you're going to pay less for your mortgage than you are to pay for rent. It could be the exact same house. You're going to pay less for your mortgage, PITI, than you're going to pay for rent every single time. And unless it's your buddy who owns the house and they're giving you a great deal on rent, you're paying less to own your house than you are to rent your house. But you're like, well, I don't know if I want that obligation. I don't know. I'm worried about keeping a roof over my family's head. And look, mortgage companies don't want me to tell you this, but this is really how it works in the trenches. If you are renting a house, and heaven forbid these furloughs continue, these layoffs continue, if you're renting, your landlord can kick you out in 30 days, 15 days sometimes even as quickly as 5 days. If you're a renter, landlords can kick you out of your house. Now, look, it's all on pause right now, allegedly till August 2nd, but it's going to start again soon, and landlords will kick their tenants out just like that. If you have a mortgage, let's be honest, Florida is what's called a lien state, meaning the bank, if you don't pay the bank, they have to come and foreclose on you. How long does that take? 6 months, a year, 2 years? I've seen foreclosures last 5 years. So not only are you going to pay less to own your house every single month, if for whatever reason, and certainly I don't wish this on you, I wish you health and happiness and prosperity, but I understand. I have 2 kids myself and a wife myself. I get it. It's stressful keeping a roof over their head. The best way to ensure, if something bad happens to you financially, that you keep the roof over their head is to purchase and not to rent. I know no one wants to hear that. The banks don't want me to tell you that, but it's true. In the state of Florida, it's just true. It takes a year or 2 years to foreclose on you, whereas a landlord can kick you out in 5 to 30 days. And now it's time for real questions. Every Saturday here on You Have Real Estate, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Today on the show, it is a returning visitor, 2 returning visitors, husband and wife combo. It's J.R. Kroll, Holly Kroll. How are you guys?
We're great.
Yeah, everything's good.
So since I last saw you, I remember the day I opened up the Orlando Sentinel, J.R., and it said, J.R. Kroll throwing his hat in the ring for Seminole County tax collector. Your first election. First of all, we're voting for you. And if you're in Seminole County, you have to vote J.R. Kroll for tax collector. But what in the world is wrong with you? No, seriously. Do you remember the moment where you and Holly, or maybe the family, are sitting around? Are you at dinner? Are you at lunch? Where do we decide as a family, okay, we're going to do this?
I started looking at, what was going on in this excessive spending at the tax collector's office. And this is before everything else happened that's happened to today. But I just looked at that and said there needed someone to go in there to clean it up and bring the money back to Seminole County. There was, before the current tax collector, the previous tax collector, there was the tax collector before that was bringing $3 to $5 million a year back to Seminole County. That's going to go to police cars and, emergency services, libraries, all that sort of thing, where the money goes. And it just wasn't there anymore. So I said, someone has to come in there who knows how to run a business and take the money. We sat down and talked about it. It was a big decision because obviously we knew it's, politics are dirty. So, it's been seen a lot of mudslinging going around, and, I don't partake in that at all. Don't say anything negative about my opponents. I just try to keep it on the up and up, but not everybody does,
Howie, did you want to shake him, or how did you respond to this?
Yeah, I wanted to shake him. There was a lot of different reactions there. It's tough, and it is, like he said, one opponent would, every once in a while will say some negative things that are completely unfounded. And, as knowing my husband for 25 years and knowing the type of guy he is, it is upsetting personally. It's hard. I think it would be hard for anybody to hear that about somebody they love. So, but I know he's the right guy for the job, and if the county decides, that's what they decide, and I hope it works the way we want it to.
Make no mistake, Holly's a realtor. We're going to show you some great houses here in a few minutes, but I just find it fascinating when you're running this campaign and also running your first ever campaign during a worldwide pandemic. How has that been?
That wasn't planned. In October when I decided this was not the plan. Probably maybe wouldn't have done it if I would have known, if someone would have gave those cards up front. But we're in it, so we're like, no, now of course we're committed to go to see it to the end. It's just during this pandemic has been difficult for campaigning. But now more than ever, I said, obviously with what happened at the tax collector resigning, so the former tax collector. So now definitely someone good has to be put in there that knows what they're doing and can make this go back to normal.
How do you campaign during a pandemic? So normally in the past, I go have lunches with candidates or have a party. Fundraiser, they like to call it. Don't ever call it a party. It's a fundraiser. That's typical. Every election cycle, we have fundraisers for candidates. We're not having big fundraisers right now because of social distancing, because of the coronavirus. How are you campaigning? How are you raising funds during this?
The raising funds is difficult. It's definitely, you're doing, phone calls, emails, postcards, just reaching out. You still try to reach out, even Zoom meetings, a lot of Zoom meetings, and just networking with the right people. Like I said, I've never done politics before, so I'm not this connected politician or some family that comes from a long lineage of politicians. We don't. So I had to come in here in October to really start saying, okay, who are the people I need to connect with to make this a successful campaign.
And while you're here, you might as well check out JR's qualifications, please. Is there a website to go to? Where can I find out more about you? Facebook? How do I find out?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page. It's just the facebook.com/electjr. And my regular campaign page is www.electjrkroll.com.
Why J.R. Kroll for Seminole County Tax Collector?
Well, I'm the only candidate out of the remaining two others that are here that have any business experience whatsoever. The other two candidates have none. They've never run a business. I've run my business for over 20 years, hiring and firing of employees, negotiating contracts, budgets, you name it. They're very similar to what you'd have to do at the tax collector's office to manage the 6 offices and 122 employees at the county level.
What does a tax collector do exactly? I think we get confused sometimes. We're like, okay, you got the one guy who tells us what the house is worth. You got the other guy where you go get your driver's license. What does a tax collector really do?
Majority of the money that comes into the tax collector's office is from property taxes. That's the majority of it. But reality is the rest of the office, the 6 offices and 122 employees are being used to run services for other parts of the government that don't have their own offices. So you're going to have the DMV to where you're going to run driver's licenses. Yeah. Then you're going to have the fish and wildlife to where you're doing hunting permits and fishing permits and the concealed weapon permits. So these are things that you're running for other offices, but you only basically take the money in and run the service there and then kick it back to Tallahassee and the office gets paid a little bit. So if you have a $15 permit, tax collector's office might get $2-3 out of that.
God, it's a constitutional officer is what you're running for, really.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly? And who are the other constitutional officers in Seminole?
Seminole County has, we have the supervisor of elections. We have the property appraiser. We have the sheriff is actually also a constitutional officer. and the clerk of the court, and then the tax collector.
And really have some good ones in Seminole County. If you think, Chris, the supervisor of election, excellent. Grant Malloy is doing a great job. Sheriff Lima. I mean, really, we are fortunate to have some great constitutional officers in Seminole County, and I think you'd be a great addition, JR. And I hope you check out J.R. Kroll and vote for JR coming up in August. What is it?
18th.
August 18th is our primary, and then, of course, the general election November 3rd once they get through the primary.
It's going to get here before you know it.
It's very soon.
So have you seen, Holly, any of the nastiness of politics yet since you guys jumped into this thing in October?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen it. You always expect it on the larger level, but when it's on the smaller county level, you don't think it would be as bad as it is.
Oh, yes.
We shop at the same Publixes, we go to the same schools, we know a lot of the same people. So that part was a little bit more shocking than what I was expecting. But
the local elections sometimes, I'm telling you, get more nasty. You can be like the water or whatever person, and wow, it gets vicious. It really is. But I hope it goes well. Hope it doesn't get too vicious for you guys, because I know it can be challenging, especially with the wife, the kids. And by the way, I think since I last saw you, grandparents?
Grandparents.
Unbelievable. How does that, first of all, I would never guess, obviously, just by looking at you two, but how's that going?
Well, I mean, it's amazing, of course, and she's gorgeous and she's perfect. But with the pandemic, would I want to hold her every day? Yes, but unfortunately, I don't get to do that. So, and my daughter-in-law is a nurse too. So, of course, she's going to be, a little bit more protective. And so we've got to see her a couple of times. I'm hoping to see her, sneak in a little visit tomorrow. I always tell her, if you don't feel comfortable with me holding her, then I'll just take a glimpse, whatever you're comfortable with.
Got it. So while he's out there campaigning, Holly, you're running Kroll Realty right now. And I've said it many times on the show that, yes, we are in a pandemic, no doubt about it. But we're not in a real estate collapse. So this is not
at all
2008, 2009. How would you describe the real estate market right now?
It's very, very busy. I mean, there's, as you know, extremely low inventory. So if there is a house that is in good condition, it's gone, multiple offers. I'm sure you've heard this over and over again. So people still, even though there's a pandemic, and I know, unfortunately, people are losing jobs, people still need to move. There's still people moving to Florida. I think our last couple of sales were people from out of state. So they still need homes. So it really has not slowed down.
You were here for the opening statement. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I mean, do you agree with what I'm saying, that now is the time to buy as opposed to renting because of the interest rates where they are?
Absolutely. I mean, we're talking under 3% for some people. I mean, there's no better time to buy a house right now, and rentals are just as scarce as purchasing. So if you think you're going to find a nice rental, it's going to be hard to find, and you're going to be spending a lot of money.
Maybe I'm not the one to listen to, because I can tell you in 2010 when rates were at 5%, I said, oh, they're never going to be this low again. This is historically low rates. Now is a great time to buy. I would have bet you my house that they would never go below 3%. And that is where we are right now. And let me tell you something. This is free money. In the grand scheme of things, an interest rate at under 3% is free money, especially when you compare it to interest rates of the past. If your financial advisor was getting you 2.8% on your money, you'd fire him. Yeah. I mean, you would fire him because that's just not good enough. But then also, I mean, you've unfortunately worked with landlords and things who had to evict tenants. How long does it take?
Days.
Yeah.
Not long. Yeah.
It is days when you're renting. You can literally lose your job, and if you don't have any savings, they can kick you out in days. Whereas if you have a mortgage, how long have you seen some foreclosures take?
A long time. And if you hire someone like Justin, who we've enlisted his help with some of our clients before, it can take a really long time. So.
Absolutely, it can. So you have a couple of awesome properties here that I want to check out too. And by the way, if you have any questions about any of these properties, or you'd like to see some real estate this weekend, I'll hook you up with the Kroll family. All you have to do is call that phone number, 407-205-0400. Derek, as he is every time, is here. We always appreciate you, buddy. Let's look at this. Is it Kentwood Avenue?
Yes.
All right. Tell me about Kentwood.
So Kentwood, it's 421 Kentwood Ave, and it's offered at $439,000. This one is located in West Sanford, and what I love about this home is that it's nestled off a small, quiet street. So if you're looking for privacy, this is the home that you want to buy. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home with almost 3,700 square feet of living space and sits on over a half acre with no HOA. So if you've got a boat, you've got bikes, motorcycles, no problem. Just, bring them and throw them right on your property. The exterior also features a large circular driveway with another additional long driveway that's just perfect for a basketball hoop. Inside, you can see the home has volume ceilings and a really open floor plan, making it the ultimate space for entertaining. The kitchen has been remodeled, and it features granite counters, a wall oven, and a very large walk-in pantry. There are actually 2 first-floor master suites. One has a private entrance to the outdoor patio, and the other one has a massive master ensuite bath. The additional bedrooms are all on the second floor, and one of the bedrooms is actually 17 by 23, so massive. And it would be perfect for an at-home office or space for homeschooling, because a lot of us are going to need that pretty soon here.
Yeah.
Also plenty of storage, A-rated schools, and located near all major highways.
When you say West Sanford, what does that mean exactly?
Anything west of I-4.
Okay. It's a beautiful part of town. I mean, it's basically Markham Woods corridor, Heathrow, Lake Forest, a lot of great neighborhoods up there. But you're saying no HOA on this one. And let me tell you something. HOA meetings can get heated to the point where this county commissioner in Osceola got arrested Monday, actually, for flashing his badge and saying he was working with the sheriff's department to try to get into an HOA meeting that had gotten nasty. Impersonating a police officer is the charge. It can get nasty. I mean, and normally when you go to an HO meeting, it's not because you want to go thank the board of directors for what a great job they're doing. It gets nasty. Do you find people who call you and say, I want to not have an HOA? Does that ever happen?
Well, I can certainly understand. I'm the vice president on my HOA.
Yeah. You're the one that measures my grass? I hope not.
No. Luckily, we have a property management company that takes care of all that so that we can, just not have to deal with that and hopefully not make people so angry personally at us. But there's definitely a good amount of people that are saying, or they've lived in an HOA and said, no more, I'm done with that. So, there's plenty of people that's what they're looking for.
And this one has no HOA whatsoever.
No HOA,
Awesome.
Which is kind of a rarity on that side of Sanford.
Just in Florida in general to find with no HOA.
It's very hard.
Everything's been planned. They decided to cut up Seminole County to really find out where things are gonna go. And yeah, it's just rare that they have like an actual, because it still is a community. It just doesn't have an HOA.
Yeah, and it's actually a very well-kept community considering there is no HOA.
And you say $439 on that?
Yeah.
That seems like quite a deal, especially in this market. How many square feet?
Almost 3,700. It's huge.
Gosh.
Yeah, storage everywhere, closets everywhere.
Yeah, and if you really have decent credit and you're going to get this 2.8% interest rate, you're looking at $2,400 a month, maybe all in PITI. To rent that house, you're $3,200 probably.
And if you think about it, and you've got an RV park somewhere, spending a couple of $100 a month, and you can just park it right there on your property, that's even more to save.
Awesome. All right, let's see this other property, Peninsula Island Point. Tell me about this one.
Okay, so 347 Peninsula Island Point is offered at $489,000. This is a 4-3, 2,500 square foot home in a small custom lakefront community in Longwood. It was just built in 2017. As you can see, it sits on a meticulously landscaped 1/3 acre lot. The solid oak wood floors are throughout the whole house, and they're absolutely stunning. There is a den, a separate living room and dining room. The chef-inspired kitchen features Gen Air appliances with natural gas, solid oak custom cabinetry, gorgeous stone counters, and a copper farmhouse sink. The family room is just off the kitchen and features a gas fireplace and has amazing views into the private backyard. I also love the shiplap feature wall in the master bedroom. The master also has French doors to the patio and a master ensuite that has his and her sinks, a separate soaking tub, and there's also 2 additional bedrooms just down the hall. The covered patio is really well sized and the perfect spot to add an outdoor kitchen or bar area. And one of the things I wanted to mention, Justin, because I know you're someone that appreciates energy efficiency, the house also has triple pane tinted windows, tile roof, solid concrete walls, and a dual zoned air conditioning system. Home's also zoned in an A-rated school district and perfectly located close to everything.
The only word I didn't like in that was or. When you said bar or outdoor kitchen. How about bar and
Or both,
outdoor
yes.
kitchen?
Yeah,
I think that's what we need to look at. Huh?
There's a
big
picture of the
enough
patio
yard. Yeah, I
there.
think
You
so.
could put both.
Pretty good size.
Yeah, I'll do a bar and outdoor kitchen. That's a great looking house. Where is this exactly?
It's in Longwood, and it's kind of just off of 434 and North, so almost as you're heading towards Altamont.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Close to the Longwood-Altamont border.
Okay, got it. What's the price point here?
489,000
$489,000
for a custom home in a lakefront community.
Unbelievable. Under 500 grand. What are you seeing the time frame for offers on houses like this right now in the market? Are they flying off the shelves?
Well, one like Peninsula, yeah. I mean, we might be pending, in the next day or so.
Really?
Yeah, because you can't find something like that. The same thing with the Kentwood. They just, fly off with. Even when you're talking about close to $500,000, they're still going fast.
If you'd like to see either of these properties, I will connect you with Holly right now. 407-205-0400. Excellent job. Are you two going to stick around for the real estate roundtable, I hope?
Sure thing.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
And without further ado, it is time for your portion of the show. It's time for the real estate roundtable. Every Saturday here on You Have Real Estate, I answer your questions from throughout the week. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page, You Have Real Estate, ask me a question right there, and I might just answer yours next week here on the show. All right, John in Orlando. I watch on Click Orlando. Well, thank you, John. We appreciate that. I love the show. Do you see interest rates increasing anytime soon? Guys?
Well, they can't go down much.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So I imagine I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
It's going to have to eventually go up. I mean, we're going to see as inflation keeps growing. We're in unprecedented times right now, so we're going to definitely probably see them start going up, which should probably then at that point slow down the real estate market
Right.
some. So we'll start to see more inventory building, which I would actually like to see a little more normalcy in that also, because it's like very, very unstable right now with how, when you're this far on one side, we got to try to get it more of an equal balance.
Yeah, it just gets frustrating for buyers.
Yeah.
That's you got to make sure they put their best offer right away.
Exactly.
If they really like the house.
I mean, how does that conversation go? Because everyone wants a deal. I mean, we're all pretending like we're at the flea market at some point. Like, we want to negotiate, but how do you have that conversation when you work with a buyer? I know you deal with a lot of listings, but if you're working with a buyer, the asking price is $300. Someone's going to offer $300 in the next couple of days. I mean, what do you tell your buyer in that spot?
I mean, we try to explain to them. We try to show them the comps and say, hey, look, this one sold in 3 days at this price. So if you really want it, you're going to have to go all in. Now, there's always going to be the buyers that say, oh, well,
Yeah.
300, I want to put an offer at 250. Okay, just know that you might lose the offer. And sometimes it might take some buyers a couple of losses before they turn around the mindset. Then they realize, oh, no, I do need to come in strong.
Yeah. Did they ever get mad at you? Look, I told you needed to offer full price. What more can I do? Oh, you should have really twisted my arm even harder, right? It's not your fault.
Sometimes, yeah. I would say most no, but yeah, every now and again.
Let me tell you something. If you're sitting around waiting on the rates to go lower, you're doing yourself a disservice. Even if let's say they go to 2.5, I really don't care. The difference in 2.5 and 3 is not going to make a huge difference in the grand scheme of things, and you risk waiting on it to go to 2.5, and they end up going to 5%. Now is the time, with the rates where they are, for you to buy your house, or even if you're at, say, 3.5%, look at a refinance, because really, if you lower it down to this 2.8, you can save yourself some money every month. Carla in Orlando, what exactly does the tax collector do? JR, I'll let you address that one.
Okay.
Soon to be tax collector, Seminole County, JR Kroll.
So tax collector is, like I said, it is a mostly administrative position, but it's not hired in. It's done by by election. That's in the Florida Constitution. So people have asked, like, well, would you think it would be better served? And probably, yes, it would be better served if it was a hired in position, but it's not. And changing the Constitution's not very easy.
Yeah,
So
I heard.
we're pretty sure we have to stick with elections. So what we got to do is look at the candidates that are the best suited to actually run this office. And like I said, manage an office of 122 employees and 6 offices. It's just collection of the money, and then it gets distributed back to after the expenses of the tax collector office are paid. Then that money is given back to the Seminole County Commission, and then they in turn take the money and decide where the money is going to be spent, whether, and then if there's the extra amount of where that money gets spent to.
One more time. How do I help the campaign? Website, Facebook. What can I do to help?
Yeah, go to electjrkroll.com is my main campaign page, or my Facebook is at electjr, thefacebook.com, and then electjr/electjr.
Good deal. We'll be voting for you. I promise.
Appreciate it.
Last one, quickly. Sandra in Sanford asked, where do the prices on real estate go in 2021, Holly?
I think pretty much the same because inventory is so low and because we're still seeing a lot of people moving into Florida. I don't see a big drop. I mean, yeah, there's going to be people who've lost their jobs and that part of it's going to be, affected a little bit. But I maybe not the huge increases we're used to seeing, but they're still steady and going strong.
Excellent job. Thanks for coming.
All right, thank
JR,
you. Thank you
good
for
to see
having
you again,
us.
brother. All right,
Appreciate
good
it.
luck in the campaign. Whatever we can do to help, let me know.
I appreciate it.
Most importantly, thank you for joining us here today. If you have any questions about anything we talked about, it's 407-205-0400. If you want to get pre-approved to start your house hunt, same phone number. Dallas Lehman is standing by to help you right now. I mean, right now. You can call him now and start the house hunt right away. I'm attorney Justin Clark, and I'll see you next week on You Have Real Estate. Good job, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the plug.
Of course. That's what I mean.